What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And with a raspy voice that hasn't healed yet, I am ready to give you the meme coin update. All right, we're going to rock through all of the action here, mainly on the Solana memes, but there's a few others, and we're going to break down the charts. Have some coffee. Got my coffee ready. We're going to talk it all over. But before we start that, I do have to warn you that this is not financial advice. Anything I say in this video can cause you extreme discomfort and displeasure and leave you penniless and living in a box in a back alley, subsiding on dumpster food. Okay, that was stupid. But at any rate, I do have a question for you. Where'd the trolls go? Where were the trolls? We were having so much fun with the trolls, and they all disappeared. It was interesting that while MYRO was down low after the great calamity, we had tons of trolls that were coming in and people who were butthurt because they bought at the previous peak up here. A bunch of people were up here. This is where your trolls came in. They bought here. And by the time this massive capitulation completed, all those trolls were mad and nasty and giving nasty comments, rather, on my videos as I was waiting for MYRO to complete this correction to start to swing trade it. Now, of course, as we look back in history, when we reached this point, we had all the drama where they were saying that MYRO's a rug pull, the developers are crooks, and it's a scam, all sorts of drama. And while everyone was crying and arguing and fussing and cussing about the drama, I was looking at the chart. It's interesting. It's very interesting to see that MYRO has exploded, broken the previous all-time high, nearly hitting 40 cents, but it was supposed to be a rug pull scam. Remember that? What is the lesson you can learn from this? Do not get involved in mess. Do not let your emotions get the best of you. Look at volume and look at the chart. Swing trade with the idea that you are in this to make money and get out. We don't care about what the project team does. We don't care if they're whistling Dixie or whatever it is that they're doing. We're looking at the chart and we want to make money. That's why we're here. But I thought it's just kind of interesting as we look back on all that drama that occurred down here, that everyone had written this off, and now we have absolutely demolished the all-time high. It has been destroyed. So here we're bouncing around. Notice one thing here. Notice how we are currently bouncing around right here at the level of the previous all-time high. Also notice we have a stochastic crossover. We have a very bullish MACD. The oscillators are still pointing straight up in the air on the MACD. Dadgummit, I need an arrow. Why does this never flip to the arrow? Okay, so that's still pointing upwards. But with this nasty crossover here, could this be where we go back downstairs? Now, the mistake I made before was not buying right there at that stochastic bottom. That was my sign. We didn't go into oversold. We did not drop below the 20 line. I was waiting for this to drop below the 20 line to make my purchase, and that did not happen. And I could have turned my little $200 into about $1,600 had I been on for this ride. Well, I can't say that I would have made $1,600 because I would have sold as soon as we got near this previous all-time high. I probably would have sold. I can't tell you that I've got a crystal ball and I would have known to hold on until it hit 38 cents. Nobody can do that. It's luck, okay? And these meme coins, again, this is degenerate gambling, guys. You got to be quick to get in and quick to get out. And you can't be playing with money like your rent money or your mortgage money or going out and getting loans. You can't be doing that. You got to put your money down and kiss it goodbye. And if you can get it back, hey, great, celebrate. You made some money. But if it goes bye-bye, don't cry. That is a warning that I have for you. A warning. All right, so what's coming up next? What can we expect? besides this 1 day chart telling me that there's a chance that we could go for a full cycle down. Since we broke the previous all-time high, I think this is going to be the real correction. And corrections are normal. Look back in the beginning. What did we have? A rise up, a correction. All-time high, a correction. All-time high, slight correction. All-time high, slight correction. All-time high, major correction. So then we went bullish, correction, all-time high, demolished. Do we get the full correction this time? We must wait and see. Only time will tell. We might not. It could jump back down to the top of this first support and resistance zone at 15 cents, which, by the way, it already poked through that. Look at this wick. Just today, it's already been as low as just underneath 15 cents. But it could bounce off of that and continue to go up. We might not get a full correction because we are in the bull market. Jumping to the 4-hour chart, though, we can see here that this is about to fall off a cliff. We have another impending crossover of the blue line and the orange line. When you look at this, how many times did we get faked out with impending crossovers? We got a fake out here where it almost crossed and went back up. We did cross over here and it came back up. We touched down here, faked us out and went back up. What's going to happen when it touches here? Is it going to go back up or are we going to finally cycle down? We don't know. That's your gamble. It's what you got to decide. It's 50-50. And if anybody's going to sit here and tell you that they know what it's going to do, they're lying. They're lying because you got all these big mouths on YouTube that want to make a name for themselves that they can predict the market so then they can get the video views and earn lots of money, okay? And they want to be famous. It's vanity, all right? I'm not here for that. I'm just one of the people who is a degenerate gambler playing the market, having a good time with it, and sharing my thoughts with you. Okay, so that's our evidence. We probably could come down to this point of control price at 10, maybe. I mean, it's possible. We touched on the 50 EMA and it went back up. Next, maybe we'll touch on the 200 and it could bounce there. And if we fail that, point of controls at 10 cents. Keep your eyes on that. All right, so enough of MYRO. Let's run through the others real quick. Rocky. I screwed up on Rocky also because I sold at 0.0035 and then it ran all the way to a cent. It went above, I think it was 1.2 cents at the peak. So right now on the 4-hour, it's looking bearish, but you can see the wick touched on the 50 and it bounced back up. So we can't call it totally bearish yet. We do have this cross here. And one little indication that we have is that these peaks are moving down. Here's the peak, first one. Next one's lower. Next one's slightly higher. This one's definitely lower. All right? So when we are looking at that, I'll call my cousin back. That was my cousin Cedric. When we are looking at this declining, that could be an indication that we might come down to that 200 EMA. It could be the next one that we test. So flipping this to the 1 day, what does it look like? Overall, it looks like this is going to roll over. You see this? We got a touch, a fake, and a rollover. All right. So if this cycles out and we see that the MACD, the oscillators are going straight up, it's got to come back to the zero line at some point. I don't know what it'll look like. I can suggest to you what it could possibly look like. Let me scrunch this down here so we can get all that price action in there. Here's what it could look like. It could look like this. Here's that peak. We could touch on this. It could be something like this where we come down and then we touch it again and we wait for this trend line to break. And then it's going to be bull run time because this is not the bull run for Rocky. It's not the bull run for anything. We're in the bull market, but the bull run is when everything goes on a steep slope upwards and does not take a breath until you hit the all-time high. Running through a few others that I have my eyes on. When? Here it is. WYNN. Looking good. Notice that it is almost in my strike zone. This one is very close to a comfortable price for me where I could jump in at a cent. It already touched on the top of the box and it was support. But with this nasty crossover here and printing light green on the histogram, it should be coming down. I want this to come down and get back into my box. And when it does, I'm buying it. If we can get to the point of control price of a half a cent or 0.006, I'm aping in. And then I'm going to ride that next wave up because it's going to smash its previous all-time high. You see it was above 6 cents there. So that will be a nice ride. On the 4-hour for this chart, it also looks like it's a little bearish, but not completely bearish because we're already in oversold zone. But the fast line is still falling away from the slow line. So this could bounce around and languish down here while we float into the strike zone. Get in my strike zone. Hurry up. Get in the helicopter. Where did that come from? All right, next one is GROK. And let's look at the history of GROK. Scroll back and watch my last video, and you will see when I called for GROK, being in the strike zone was where I was going to buy right here, but it touched on it as support and it bounced up. It went from my strike zone price, I wanted to get it at 0.0022, but it bounced at 0.0028 and it ran to 1.5 cents. That's just ridiculous. So that could have been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 6x from this point. But since we have this crossover here, this is looking bearish. And the MACD oscillator looks like it's curling down the fast line. We should be able to get back into this top zone. The point of control price is 0.007. That's where I'm looking to buy. And I'll continue to buy. And if by stroke of luck, if it gets down to this lower zone, that would be great, but I don't expect that. If we fall off of the point of control price, I'll be buying at the bottom of this channel right here at 0.0047. I'll continue to accumulate. So that is GROK. Let's see if the 4-hour looks any different. Or did we do the full? Oh, that looks nasty. Good Lord. So the 4-hour chart, it's just falling off a cliff. So we could look at a bounce here where it's going to come up and maybe continue down because we're already in oversold zone. But this is a nasty crossover, bearish crossover on the MACD. So 50-50 shot if it gets into that zone or if we shoot up. Because overall, we don't know if this is a real correction in the market across the board or if this is just a slight pause. It is more significant than what we've been seeing in these little hiccups. But time will tell. All right, SAMO. That's the next one. Come on, SAMO. Get down into my box. Get into my box. This one was in distribution for a while. This is actually a consolidation move because we had the all-time high. It's still bullish. It's still above the previous base at 0.0038. So if we get down into this strike zone box at around a cent, I'm riding SAMO. There we go. That's the 1 day. Peeling back on the 4-hour. Looks like we can get into that box as we're at about the 50 point with the stochastic. So we've got plenty of room. We got a bearish cross on the MAC oscillators. Bring it on down. Come on down, SAMO. Star L, which has a huge supply. This one I might jump into. It's got an infinite supply. It's dangerous. But look at this. I mean, if it settles down here at the point of control price, and then you sell, if it breaks the previous all-time high, that's about a 7x. Yeah, it's nothing to write home about, but you could ride it. Bonk, which is on Coinbase. Please, Bonk, come back. Come back down to earth. I missed you. I should have been buying Bonk down here, but we are at the stochastic peak. It has rolled over nicely. Looking at the 4-hour, it is looking bearish also. Get it down to this upper zone. If we can fail this 50 EMA, we should come down to the 200, and I will jump on. Now, Yushi is one that I bought years ago. I got like $15, $30 worth of Yushi, and at the last bull market peak, do you know that my Yushi bag, I think it peaked out at $800. And so it's back down to worth about 15 bucks, and I just moved it out of my Binance wallet or BNB wallet, because I had bought this on the Hotbit exchange, which is gone now. And so I sent it over to MEXC, and I'm sitting and waiting. I will ride this one out to the bull market peak. I've got like 200 million of it, somewhere around there. And when I sent it from my wallet to here, I had to pay a BNB gas fee, and they snatched 10% of my total. I think it is in the coding, in the contract of Yushi, that when you buy, sell, or transfer it, they snatch 10%. That's how these memes make money. But go to the link on the, go to CoinGecko, pull up Yushi, click on the link. This website, it's just super crazy cluttered. It's just like a complete, it just looks like helter-skelter craziness, but it's a gaming site. There's a lot happening there. It actually does something, and it has a big active following. So that's one that I would tell you, if you're a complete degenerate, you could look into trading Yushi. Honk, come on down. There's not enough price history for it, but if we do come down to point, say, the base, 0.008, I could look at Honk. That's another one that's on Solana. Then we've got SNEC, the Cardano, coming down. It's correcting. I'm not much on SNEC. Pepe, look at this. If we can come back down to the base. See, it never came down into my strike zone right here at 0.07. If it completely corrects, I'll ride Pepe for the bull run. If it does not, I'm not in it. Floki, I had sold out of months ago. If it comes back down to the 50 EMA, I'm riding it again. A lot of these memes went vertical at the same time, and their charts are identical, and that is very suspect. And the reason is you've probably got whales and institutional investors that ran these things up, and now they're snatching their profits, taking your money, and they're going to put that right back into Bitcoin and the top 100. All right? Looking at Elon, not a lot of exchanges to get this one on. It was down at my lower strike zone. I didn't get it. It is in my second strike zone, but it's in the early stages of its correction with this absolute crossover at the top of the stochastic cycle. Couple more. Baby Doge. Nice correction. I'm looking at Baby Doge. And here, Kishu. I did own this before, but let's look at the gains from the point of control price. This was, oh my gosh, that's nice. That's a, am I reading this right? Is that a 10X? Yeah, that's a 10X. It went up 10X. That's nice. So if this one comes all the way back down to earth, I'll ride it again. Then you have the Wall Street game meme, sloppy chart. Kate, this one has a little website. It's cute. Kate had a nice little run here. Not as much of a pump there. But with this drop off about to happen, I'm looking for it to come down to the point of control price. And then we'll end on Shiba Inu. I had SHIB. I sold it 6 months ago. And I'm thinking they're going to give back all of this. It's going to come back down probably to the point of control price. And then I'll write it again for the bull run next year or this fall or this spring, or not spring, this fall or winter, whenever it's going to happen, either late 2024 or early 2025. Well, that's what's happening with the memes. Let me know what your favorite memes are. My style is I only buy memes in USDT pairings. I don't fool around swapping Solana because I don't like looking at the Solana price and it's going up and down, and then I've got to compute the price action on the meme coin. I just want a stable coin, go straight over. I want to do it on an exchange or on MetaMask with the Polygon network because you're only charged a few cents per trade. So if there's liquidity on MetaMask via the Polygon network, you can swing trade these till you're blue in the face and it'll cost you pennies on the dollar. Okay. I can't think of anything else, so we're going to end the meme report right here, but I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Pro channel. And if you would like to help me to pay these expensive costs of producing the channels, you may do so with the giving of a super thanks. I thank you in advance. Look out for the membership group details coming at you soon. And until the next video, this is Carlton, and I'm out.